Hello, everyone. Welcome. How are you all this late night, early morning? This morning we had a great time. And if you want to catch up on what we talked about earlier this morning, you can go back and check out the previous video or look in the description box. I also have a link to that to my website, spiritualsuppliesandcandles.com. So tonight we are going to talk about Necronomicon, and we are also doing live tarot card readings tonight. If you are wanting one, I'm going to put this in the chat for you guys who are just joining me as well to let me know if you want a tarot card reading. And the way that you would pay, it's $10 for 5 minutes. I'll have you set on a timer, and you can pay through Super Chat or you can pay through my CA. And I'll put it here in the chat as well. Hope you guys are doing well. We're going to really get into this dynamic topic and subject tonight. And I'm going to play a video for you guys so you guys can get the feel of what I'm getting ready to talk about, which is Necronomicon. So, this is supposed to be one of the world's most dangerous books of all. And it's said that people who read the book all the way to the end die, which, of course, this is supposed to be fiction, right? But a lot of people truly believe in this book. Okay. They do a lot of their rituals, a lot of their practices following this book. So you pretty much won't just find people coming out talking about it. I mean, I've seen like a couple of videos on YouTube, but most people who practice this, they're very quiet about it. And basically, it's pretty much necromancy, okay, which is working with the dead. So this book is exactly what that is, working with the dead, working with spirits. And so for those of you who are watching, before you get all scared and everything, okay, uh, I will say for those of you who are Christian, just keep in mind that a lot of people do work with spirits, they work with the dead, but of course, Jesus Christ, he died too, right? You guys pray to him all the time and ask him for guidance. Okay, now Jesus came back alive, so the Bible says. So, if anything, that would probably scare a person more. That's what I would think. But, anyways, Jesus is not in the flesh. Okay, he is a spirit or he is a divine being. And so, a lot of people who practice necromancy and they work with spirits, the dead, they work with, different entities and things like that. Or I should say, we do. Okay, so we're going to get right into the video, you guys. And this is going to be very educational, very informative. And I'm going to go ahead and share the screen right here with you guys. And keep an open mind, learn something. Okay, don't be afraid of it if this is all new to you. If you're scared, then this isn't the channel for you. Okay, so we're going to get a little education in. And put this up here. I'll run it back right here.
The work of H.P. Lovecraft has influenced countless individuals, and we still see this influence today, not only in the cosmic horror genre, but in horror itself, as well as in all kinds of strange fiction. One of his most universal ideas was the Necronomicon, a fictional grimoire that features all sorts of dark rituals, magic, and strange sciences. Now, there is the belief that a Necronomicon may have once existed, and it was merely translated and published by Lovecraft. Although this may not be true, a lot of it comes down to Lovecraft himself and how alluring the idea was to others. There is a lot of history and lore surrounding this particular grimoire, more so than some of Lovecraft's other work. He was also a fairly big proponent to a shared universe, and encouraging other authors to expand upon his work if they saw potential. So when you have this many authors mentioning a very specific idea, in this case the Necronomicon, you almost get the feeling that this idea must have been real, or at least rooted in some kind of truth. And I guess that level of mystery and uncertainty is why the Necronomicon was used by so many, even in modern day work that doesn't necessarily tie into Lovecraft's mythos. The owner of the book is a character named Abdul al-Hazred, whom Lovecraft refers to as the Crazed Arab. Al-Hazred is first mentioned.
Pardon me, the crazed Arab. Do you see this guy's eyes in this painting? Now, the way this guy is looking in this painting, this is like you go into the dictionary and this is what crazy would look like. Just this guy right here. Let's carry on.
Several years prior to the Hound in the story The Nameless City, but his association to the Necronomicon is something we only discover later. When he was asked where he drew his inspiration from, Lovecraft gave pretty much the most Lovecraft answer possible. He said it came to him in one of his dreams, and by now we know pretty well that his dreams and nightmares were quite weird to say the very least. He states that the name Necronomicon was translated from the Greek to mean an image of the law of the dead. Authors that then subsequently followed have translated it to mean a variety of different things, from Book of Laws of the Dead to Book of Names of the Dead, and even Book of Dead Names. So what we can surmise from this at a very basic level is that the Necronomicon was designed to contain information about the dead and the laws that surrounded them, which is quite similar to the magical practice of necromancy, not only in premise but also in name. With how mysterious the Necronomicon was, in 1927 Lovecraft wrote a short piece titled The History of the Necronomicon, which wasn't published until after his death, but this piece gives us some additional history and context. We find out that the book was originally called Al-Azif, referring to its Arabic origin. The term Al-Azif is what Lovecraft defined as that nocturnal sound supposed to be the howling of demons.
And pardon me, so you notice how these great works of art are always published after the person passes away, like Pamela Coleman with the tarot deck, the writer Wed Tech tarot deck. So yeah, so this book is naturally really called Al Azif. Okay, let's carry on.
So we certainly get the idea that this book isn't a beacon of happiness and rainbows, it's much darker and nefarious. The book was written by Abdul al-Hazred, whom we mentioned earlier, but what we didn't mention was that he worshipped Yog-Sothoth and Cthulhu. Al-Hazred himself was originally from Yemen, but it wasn't until he visited Memphis, Egypt that the idea for the book began. In Memphis he came across the ruins of Babylon and the underground secrets of the city, where
Now, these two that he mentioned here, they are big time demons that people work with, especially for protection and money.
he would discover the nameless city. He then spent the rest of his life living in Damascus, what we would recognize as modern-day Syria. Shortly before his mysterious disappearance in the year 738, he wrote Al-Azif, the Necronomicon. The book then began to circulate amongst philosophers for the next 200
Hello,
or so years,
everyone.
and in the year 950, it was translated by the Greek philosopher Theodorus Philetas and given the name the Necronomicon. This version of the Necronomicon was said to influence many individuals into committing acts that were so terrible they could barely be mentioned, and that is why the book was burnt in the year 1050 by the Patriarch of Constantinople. After this, the book wasn't really mentioned much, and when it was done so in secret, to avoid any unwanted attention from those responsible for trying to erase it from existence. The book would then be translated from Greek to Latin by a Danish scholar in 1228. This edition would be banned by the Pope, but it continued to resurface in other European countries all the way up until the 17th century. Lovecraft states that there are only 5 copies of the original translated Necronomicon held in 5 institutions worldwide, and these are as follows: the British History Museum in London, the Bibliothèque Nationale de France, the Widener Library of Harvard University in...
That is a beautiful book. But you guys, hello, Mary freaking Poppins. Hello, AK. I'm going to get to your reading. Just hang on tight, you guys, for 5 minutes, and I'm going to run this video out, and then I'm going to get to you guys. I'm going to get to you, AK. So just bear with me, love. Okay, this is almost over. Thank you, guys.
in Cambridge, Massachusetts, the University of Buenos Aires in Argentina, the last being in Lovecraft's fictional town of Arkham, Massachusetts in the Miskatonic University, which is also in possession of the Latin translation. Now, there were of course other copies of the book in circulation, but these copies were pretty much just copies of copies, so how authentic the contents are, we don't really know. These copies were mostly in the hands of private individuals, so they weren't easy nor cheap to get a hold of. So backstory aside, I'm sure the question that most of you want answered is, what is in the book to make it so taboo, so dark that everyone who reads it suffers a horrendous end? We know the book was written by someone who worshipped the elder gods, so as you can imagine, they make up quite a large part of what's inside of the Necronomicon. It's full of strange symbols and arcane knowledge that we can't really understand, and its content ranges from stories to rituals and all kinds of weird science. In the story The Thing on the Doorstep, the book contains a formula for one to transfer their consciousness. The Dunwich Horror contains a chant that can summon Yog-Sothoth, and there are more than a few rituals that can summon deities and all sorts of creatures from Lovecraft's universe inside. As the name may suggest, there is also a chapter devoted to resurrecting the dead. One of the easiest ways to describe the Necronomicon is as an encyclopedia to all things Lovecraft. Granted, it's a very weird encyclopedia that has a habit of killing anyone who reads it, but an encyclopedia nonetheless. It's also a detailed history of what Earth may have been like aeons ago when it was ruled and inhabited by creatures and entities that we cannot even begin to imagine. I think what I like most is, despite the numerous times Lovecraft mentions the book in his stories, he doesn't really describe the contents or the appearance in great detail. So it does remain fairly mysterious, which is something that we don't really see too much nowadays with everything being spoon-fed to us. The only thing we really know is that it's a leather book bound by metal, and even then it's intentionally mistitled sometimes to keep it hidden in plain sight. This idea of being able to read the Necronomicon without even knowing creates a whole new horror concept in itself. The obsession of the Necronomicon outside of fiction that I mentioned at the start is no exaggeration. There have been and still are those who believe it to be real, and the number of hoaxes and strange stories over the years is quite astounding. Lovecraft often received letters from fans asking about the authenticity of the book, to which he assured them it was purely fictional. This didn't stop some individuals from listing the Necronomicon for sale in local bookstores, as well as creating entries for the book in library catalogues, even going as far to say the Vatican Library had a copy themselves. But most of this we can put down to light-hearted pranksters and some crazy people. As the obsession continued to grow, in 1970 a book by the name of Necronomicon was published by an author under the pseudonym of Simon. It would later be dubbed Simon Necronomicon. The book itself doesn't really link to Lovecraft's work, but instead claims that it was influenced and based on Sumerian mythology. This certainly blurred the lines between fiction and reality, with the book selling over 800,000 copies as of 2006. So it appears many of Lovecraft's fans were intrigued enough by the premise to read further. It could also be because the marketing for this book made some pretty outrageous claims, such as this book may be the most dangerous black book of the Western world. Regardless, its success meant that there were 3 additional volumes published, and I guess why not if people want it. The major success of Simon's Necronomicon led to the publishing of the Necronomicon Files in 1998, which aimed to finally prove that the book was in fact a work of fiction, examining not only just Simon's version of the Necronomicon, but the many obscure versions that followed in its success. Whether or not you believe the Necronomicon is real, I certainly understand the appeal of the book in a fictional setting, and why it would attract so many different types of people. Feel free to share your questions and thoughts with me in the comments below. As always, I've been your host, Mythology.
All right, you guys. So there you have it. One of the world's most dangerous books ever. And so I am going to get to AK's reading here and welcome Aurora Boreal. And okay, so I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the cards right quick again for Miss AK. And we're going to get ready to set the timer as well. AK wants a general reading on her past life with Goddess Oshun. What messages does she want to relay to me? Okay. So now I'm gonna put the cam up so you can see the cards. Let's see. Okay, there we go. All right, set the timer. All right. Goddess Oshun. Too late to me. All right. Okay. Wow. Okay. So you have a serious, strong connection with Oshun in your past life. You know, this is Mambo, but basically this card explains it all. So this is representing in your situation like you were a warrior, you know, possibly like one of her maidens, but you were there for her. Like you were, you know, in her court, I should say. So, you know, this is like tribal as well, you know, the people. So it's like there's a love for you there, and it's a love for Oshun there for you. So it's like this is representing like the both of you will go to battle for each other. So it's a very, very, very close connection. I'm not sure if you know all about your whole background, but it's definitely coming through like blood, uh, protection, family, closeness, like someone that is protective. And it's like the both of you are given that same energy in here, this is representing you, dancing to the beat of your own drum, enjoying your life, enjoying the things that you like, taking downtime for yourself, party, celebrate, get out a little more, do things, for you, you know. So this right here also means like travel. So it's like with this card is representing travel coming into your life, and be prepared for that. Be prepared to, take a trip or to go somewhere. And with Oshun being in your bloodline as well, this is also showing me that, she's going to be there to protect you. You're not going to be alone. You're going to be meeting like minded people that have a lot of the same stuff in common with you. And, it's going to be a joyous trip, a joyous occasion. Okay, so that's one message that I'm seeing there. So I'm not sure if you have any plans yet about you traveling, but definitely be prepared to do some traveling. And I would say, if not this year, then definitely around next year. So, enjoy the trip, enjoy the voyage. And basically that's what Oshun is saying here, but that's what the cards are saying. Like, you work so hard, you do all of these things, you know, take some time out for yourself, enjoy yourself, treat yourself. And Oshun was that way. She loved beautiful things. She loved nice things. She loves uh she's just very particular too, and she loves to adorn herself. So think about doing some more things like that, that's going to bring out your inner beauty as well. Continue to do things to bring out your inner beauty. And also, this is representing like a father figure in your life as well, like an uncle or father figure, and this person having wisdom. So Oshun is also showing me here that, be open minded to hear, what this person has to say. And this is a male energy. They're only here to help you. Even the cards here is peaceful, like they have your best interest at heart. So definitely Oshun is with you. She's walking with you. She's in your bloodline here. And she wants you to enjoy your life the way that she did in her life. And of course, we all know Oshun went through a lot of different things, but at the same time, she had a beautiful life. She had a lot of the material things she wanted. She had the support of the other Orishas, so just know that, you're not alone. Um, your support system. Sometimes you can have a different support system from just your family, but definitely she is in your support system. So this is basically what she's wanting you to know, love. And I hope that this helps. And if you guys are wanting a reading, Okay, I'm going to let AK let me know if she wants to keep going with another reading. If you guys are wanting one, you can send your donations through Super Chat, or you can send your donations there through my Cash App if you look in the chat. And it is $10 per 5 minutes, and you'll be set up on a timer there. And so while we wait, I'll also show you some more things on my website, which inspired me to talk about this uh, Necronomicon. And I saw that there was a shipment of oils that come in to my store. Now, of course, I looked around and I didn't see I had the book yet, but I am seeing that they have that book and on Amazon. And if you look up that book on Amazon, if you want to play around with it or tinker with it, uh, if you're afraid, then I wouldn't buy it. But it's supposed to be fiction. But like I said, a lot of people think that it has something to do with, some real stuff that's going on. And I believe, it's probably in between. It's kind of, here or there. It's kind of like how much you believe in it, basically. So I believe it was $60 on Amazon for that book for the hardback copy, and it was like $8.94, something like that, for I think the Kindle version or something like that. But I know what I'll be reading next month. And it's definitely that, because that definitely piqued my interest. Okay. So here we go, AK. Thank you, AK, so much. Let's see here. AK says, keep going, tell more pertinent things about my past life regarding Oshun and how it relates to this life. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the cards another good shuffle for you. Here. Here. Okay. Set the timer. Okay. Okay, so this is the zombie card. Okay. And it's like you have went through a lot of the same trials and tribulations, as far as people being jealous of you, uh you know low-key jealous, of your beauty, your physical beauty, things like that, your light, your shine. Oshun, she went through the same thing. And so in your past life, basically it's like you went through the same thing, and it's like it's carried over into this life. So also with the people, you know the secret societies, the divine beings, and just people who don't want you to be a part of certain things. Okay. They did that to Oshun. They did that to you in your past life too. Didn't want you to be a part of things, tried to exclude you out of things. Okay. And Oshun went through the same thing as well, with the Orishas not giving her the respect that she deserved. They thought that they can do what they wanted and carry on business without her. This is what you also went through in your past life. It's even in the cards is showing the difference. You're being a different person, and the people that's watching you, they're all the same. So it's like, let it be anybody but you. And that's because, they're afraid that you're going to take the limelight or take the shine away. Okay. Oshun is connected to the sun. You are connected to the sun still, and even in this life. So people can't handle it. Even if you don't say anything, Oshun didn't have to say a lot, but just her presence was known. And so in your past life, you were that way too, and you're carrying it over into this life. Okay. So, but like I said, with those Shun and other Orishas trying to not include her in what was going on, all hell broke loose. Okay. And it took a Luda Madre to come and fix it. It had to take a big time, talk, a big time meeting, conversation, whatever you want to call it, just to let them know that there's not going to be any good excluding Oshun. And you were the same way too. That's what y'all have in common. The people try to exclude you out of things, like even in the workplace, even in your personal life, it's just not going to be good for them. So you're carrying that same light, that same power within you. So, like, it just, when people see you, you don't even have to say much. Like I said before, they all can feel your presence and they can't handle it. All right. So it's just kind of one of those things. People either love you like they love Ochun, or they hate you like they did Ochun. And that's the same way you were in that past life. That's why Ochun can relate to you. And like I said, besides you both having that same bloodline, she knows how it can be. And that's the reason why she wants to work with you. She's been with you before in your past life, and she's just not going anywhere. Some people are just connected to certain deities and certain entities, divine beings, more than others. Some people are connected to Jesus, but everything that you went through in your past life, it's like it's a mirror. You and Oshun are a mirror of each other. And Ochun, she loves her mirrors. Okay, she loves her mirrors. And so that's the reason why she wants you, to love you a little more and adorn yourself like you did in your past life. Like you did in your past life. Okay. And those were the main two cards that Spirit was wanting me to touch on here. Now, the other cards, this was representing some other stuff, but this was about Oshun, you and Oshun. And I hope that helped you, AK, out. You can let me know if you would like to keep going, love. And like I said, if any of you are wanting a reading, just let me know in the super chat. It's a live reading. You can go back in the video later on and take a look at everything. It is $10 per 5 minutes, and you can donate in the super chat, or you can donate at my Cash App, which is $Beekeeper100. And I appreciate all of y'all who came in here tonight. Definitely, if you're into necromancy or if you want to study about it, I would definitely check out that book. And it's on Amazon. The Necronomicon book. And I can't wait to read it, really. I can't wait to see what they have in there. Okay, and also I wanted to take you guys to my store as well while we're waiting. If anybody is wanting a reading, if AK would like to keep going, or if she's done, I'm going to take you to my store right quick and show you the oils that I have, which one of them is the Necronomicon oil. Okay, so I myself, this is my first time hearing about the Necronomicon oil. When I was doing a lot of necromancy back in the day, see, I've been studying, the occult sciences for a few years now. When I was doing that back in the day, I wouldn't use a Necronomicon oil. I would use other different types of oils, and some of the things that I used holy oil, anointing oil, in some of the work that I did. Some people, they don't realize that you can use the Bible for good or bad. Some people think it's just for good all the time, but you can use it for either. Okay, AK has another question. Okay, let's see. AK says, am I related to any other male Orisha than Papa Legba? And what messages do they have for me? Let me take a look here. What the cards are going to show about that. I'm going to go with what the cards say tonight. Okay. All right. So, let's set up the timer. I promise you, girl, Papa Legba came up. I promise you, girl. I got my whole deck here, and okay, but yeah, he came up, and let's see here. This right here is giving me Obatala. Okay, so Obatala is basically um, the Orisha that has helped made that help that has helped that he helps to create that he had helped to create mankind with Aluda Madre. Okay, other than type, other than Papa Legba. Okay, well, he's here. He's letting you know. Okay, so like I said, I'm getting Obatala here, and so with that, that's where you get your creativity from. So if you don't know about Obatala, I would look him up and kind of study him. I know I made a video about him, I believe, a few years ago, but they have some good videos about him. I do know that uh, he loves white, and Abatala, he has a lot of knowledge and creativity. So you're connected with that Orisha with that. So sometimes you can, just think of things and come up with things and, carry on. And that's a connection with him. And here, in this situation, it's like, wisdom. And I feel like if you work with candles a little more too, that'll open up more of your third eye. Let me see what you're saying here. Yeah, I know you're connected with Shango for sure, but it's like this Obatala is coming up. So you know, if you're just wanting me to talk about Shango, Shango is, the determination part of you, because that's one thing I noticed about you. You work at it, you don't give up, and Shango doesn't put up with a lot of stuff, and like I said, even if you don't say anything, people just can feel your presence. They just know, like, wow, what is this energy? And Shango is very protective, of his children. So, most people that are connected to Ochun, they are connected to Shango as well. So don't be surprised, with you truly being connected to Ochun, you will most likely attract those that follow Shango or Shango's children. And I've noticed that myself, like I always attract, that Shango energy from, different people. So that's definitely, something that, it's a good thing. It's not anything bad. But like with Shango energy, when you're dealing with that energy, it's like you have to kind of ground it and keep it in check, because some people, they're like, whoa, 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 and then it's like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't mean to do that or say that, but like, Shango's children, the people that are connected to Shango, they just, you know, it just comes out. It just comes out. And if it doesn't come out the mouth, then it's just like the whole presence is known. Like it's going down, So, Shango, is usually always connected with Oshun in some way, because they did have twins together, and, that's a connection that, you know, that won't ever be disconnected, that won't ever go away. If you have children with someone that's pretty much, you're going to have that connection through those children, even if you're not together. So I hope that helped a little bit, AK. And let me know if you would like me to keep going, love. I appreciate you so much for coming through tonight. We had a great time this morning. And like I said, for those of you who just came in as well, you can go back to the previous video, or you can go in the description box and click on that link, and it will have it there. So, on my website. Ogun. I feel like, Ogun, you do have that energy about Ogun, but I feel like you're more connected to Ochun and Shango. You know, um, I feel like you can work with Ogun. You can work with Ogun and not have a problem. Because I've worked with Ogun before in the past, and I didn't have a problem. The only Orisha that I worked with that really, really scared me to death was Olokun. And people don't know how powerful Olokun's energy is. And it takes a lot for a spirit or a deity, divine being to scare me. But Olokun is very, very deep in the sea. It's like Olokun came to me as it was just he was massive, and he really wasn't too fond of me being there. But that's another story. I'll probably write about that. Yeah, so yeah. Okay, so Lotus Flower just came in. So, AK, do you want me to? Hello, Lotus Flower. I appreciate you so much for the donation. I just got finished with AK's reading. AK, do you want me to keep going, or do you want me to go ahead and go to Lotus Flower right now? You can let me know. I appreciate you so much. Yes. And I've been shuffling the cards here. Yeah. Yeah, just to kind of talk about that experience I had with the locum was very, very. I'll have to tell y'all about this story. Yeah. I've actually been doing some writing, so I'm gonna have to write about this story. So we're just gonna wait until AK lets me know. AK, do you want me to wait on you or keep going? Okay. Okay. Hang on, Lotus Flower. I'm still doing AK's readings here. Hang on, love. Okay. AK said, "Did I know Ogun, Olokun, or Shango in a past life?" Let me see here. Let me put on the timer. Timer here. All right. Ogun. Did you know Ogun? I'm seeing here that you knew of Ogun, but I'm not seeing you actually interacting with him. Now, what it is showing is Shango. You knew Shango, and of course, it was through that time with Oshun. So, in your past life, you knew who Shango was during that time, and Olokun, you knew who Olokun was. Now, you didn't know Olokun like you knew Oshun, okay? It's coming through more like you called upon Olokun. So it's also coming through like you were a priestess as well. So that would make sense why you were around Oshun all the time. Because like every just about every reading she pops up. Okay. So you knew Shango. I'm seeing you didn't know who Ogun was, but you knew of him. I don't feel like there was like personal physical interaction. Olokun, I'm feeling like you more so served him or asked him for favors. So, and the connection is not as heavy as it is with Shango or Ochun. The connection is not as heavy. So this is what is showing here in your past life with that. So that makes sense why you deal with a lot of obstacles and you deal with a lot is because of the whole priestess thing, okay? And being around those people like Ochun and Shango. So, and like I said before, a lot of that stuff carried on in this life. And I'm just seeing like an admiration for Shango. Of course, he was very handsome back then, they say, and all of that. So there was, admiration there from many people when it came to Chango. Definitely. And you, in your past life during that time, you were a part of all that. Wow. Very powerful, very, very powerful. And I know I keep saying this, but it's like your silence is so very strong. It's like you can look at a person and just kind of see through them, and then they just, like, wow, what is this? So a lot of that comes through your lineage and all of that love, all of that. And like I said, a locum, he has a primordial energy. He kind of like does his own thing. He's very massive. He's a part of the deep sea, that part where people have never really been before, like the depths dark there. Because he it's like he rolls by himself. So people come to him. A locum doesn't go to other people like that or mess with other orishas like that. It's like he's with the sea and he does that. And his patience is like that. I mean, he has the power to crush a person. People, but they think, oh, a locum this, a locum that. And so you knew him in that way. Yes. So thank you so much, AK. Hey, Ryan, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, AK Hun, let me know if you still want me to continue on or if you want me to go to Lotus Flower. You love the topic of this stream. Oh, yes, Ryan. You got to check the beginning out because I played a video there. I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it. Yes. And I'm definitely going to get that book. I saw it on Amazon. It was for $60 and the Kindle version was $8.94. And I could have it in my store, but I don't know yet. I think I'm going to read it myself before I try to sell it. So, Lotus Flower, I appreciate you waiting, love, and being patient. Yes. Necronomicon. AK says go on. Okay, love. Thank you so much, AK. I appreciate you. Okay. Now we're going to go back to you're welcome. Okay, Lotus Flower. Okay, let me give this one good more shuffle. My words are backwards this morning. Okay. Set the timer. Five minutes. Hey, I wanted to know what you see for me and Jeremy. Should I reach to him or wait? We got into a heated discussion. Okay. All right. All right. Lots of chaos and confusion here going on. A little bit. He said, she said, I think you should do this. I think you should do that. You know, it's like there's other people in your business that shouldn't be in your business. And it's making some friction here, is what is going on. And this right here, this is representing him. He wants to be right about this situation. okay, with whatever you're dealing with. But I would say to just let things cool down, let him come around, because what is showing here is that if you start if y'all start talking again just real soon right here, it's gonna be some more chaos and confusion. So it's like the both of you just need a breather from each other, a little time to miss each other. Sometimes people need to miss you before they appreciate you. Okay. And step back and just let things cool off. Let things cool off. Okay, because right here, it's showing a lot of stress. Okay, a lot of stress, a lot of worrying. And it's almost coming through like, he's not believing you. He's just not really having an open mind. And, it's time to kind of it's kind of, time to just let things air off. You need a little time to yourself. You need a little rest. And but things are going to be okay. um Definitely, do your meditations, do your prayers, call out to your ancestors, whatever it is that you do. They're going to come in and assist you and help you spiritually, and things are going to be okay between you and Jeremy. But what I'm really seeing here in my spirit too, Lotus Flower, is to let things cool down and let him come to you. Let him come to you. Now, if you feel like you just can't wait or whatever, and you feel the need that you have to contact him, I would say just give it a little time before you contact him, okay? Because this is going to happen again. It's like he's already ready to argue a little more, if that makes sense. He wants you to see his point, period. You know, but I think, like I said, if you give it just a day or two, something like that, the both of you will be able to talk more about it and have peace, and just say that this is something that we agree that we disagree about. You know what I mean, Lotus Flower? Because, at the end of the day, the feelings are there, the chemistry is there, you both care for each other. But yeah, this, someone's going to have to be the bigger person and just let it go. Lotus Flower, it might be you. I know that that's hard to hear, but definitely, you're going to have peace, love, with your final decision. Okay, and I mean in regards to contacting him as well. So if you feel like you just can't wait, I want you to try to at least give it a day, or you know what I mean. So but if you feel like you just cannot wait, then you need to have peace with contacting him. Okay, I would recommend you wait if you can, because I feel like he will reach out to you, because the energy I'm getting right now is that, he's been thinking about you just as much. Okay, he's been thinking about you just as much. And but you know how he is, the energy I'm getting, the cards I'm getting here, he can be stubborn and he likes to stand his ground. Okay. Okay, love. So that right there, y'all, uh is the 5 minutes, Lotus Flower. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Y'all know I get tired. And but I am gonna go ahead and get off of here. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna be back on probably early in the morning, like I did this morning. Okay, and I'll be back on during the evening. Like I said, I'm trying to be consistent here and being on YouTube a whole lot more. You are so very welcome, Lotus Flower. I appreciate you so much. I really do. And if you guys want to check the description box with me, you can always set up a private reading. You know, I have products and everything I wanted to show you guys about. Let me show you the oils that I wanted to share with y'all on my store right quick before I get ready to go, because I have the Necronomicon oil that I am selling now. And let me go to my Shopify store right quick. I wanted to show you guys that. Let's see here. Let's see. Look like they've made some changes to the store. So let me navigate around the store right quick. Okay. So here we go. And we're gonna share the screen. Chrome. I think that's the one. Yeah. Okay. This is my store. So I have ads and stuff on my store as well. And also have bottles and jars and baggies for those of you who make your own products if you want to sell them. I have some for wholesale. Okay, so Necronomicon. Make sure I spelled it right. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm having a brain freeze. Okay, y'all. Let's see. Now, here we go. I'm gonna put in the search bar. Oh, no. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here's the oils that I offer here in my store. And as you can see, I have some that is the big jars are $69.95. The little drops are $8.95. Then I have some smaller drops for $3.95. And this is the pendant for $7.85. Like I said, I don't have the book yet in my store, but I've been thinking about bringing that in. I'll probably want to do that after I take a look at the book myself. And so those are some of the products that I offer. You know, if you go to my store, if you go to the little search bar here, you can put in oils as well. And it has, I have all different types of oils here, books for oils, crossing oil, cinnamon oil. I have Jezebel oil books. So all type of, you know, study, knowledge, whatever you have, whatever you need about oils. I have it. I have the root oil here. I have the almond oil. You can actually buy a big jar of that and buy some of the bottles and, put your own twist to it and sell it on Amazon. A lot of people do that. I have a lot of people that buy stuff from me and they do that. Okay. And then you can take a look here. Here's the Leo oil, the Aries oil, juniper oil, the almond oil again, marriage oil. There's oil just for just about everything. Banishing oil, Necronomicon oil, Durga oil, controlling oil, irresistible oil, all kind of oils, Basset oil. So if you have an altar to Basset, that's a great oil to have on your altar to her. Frankincense oil, and just scroll down and go to the third page, click on number 3, and just go around and take a look at all the different types of oils that I offer. Healing oil, fertility oil, you know, honeysuckle oil, that smells great. Krishna oil, Heliotrope oil, fantasy oil, magic oil, and the list goes on and on. The list goes on and on. So just wanted to show you guys that a little bit about my store. Once again, I thank you all for coming in and joining me. If you're late, make sure you go back to the beginning of the video. Please like this video, y'all, if you are still in here with me. And I will see you guys tomorrow, okay? Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, AK. Thank you, Lotus Flower.